are made for human. Okay. So let's assume we are using those first one. Look at this. 1.5 meter. This size of pond. Are you getting it? 1.5 meter by 1.5 by 3 feet. 1.5 meter by 1.5 by 3 feet. So let's assume that we want to treat those fries that are there. We want to give them vaccine. We are going to take 3 teaspoons to 4 teaspoons of that drug, of the fish cure or of the fish biotic, any one of them we are using. Since both of them are antibiotics, you don't need to use the 2 of them at a time. I don't know if you are getting me. Yeah. So what you need the antibiotics and the vitamin. So you take 3 to 4 spoons of the antibiotics and 3 to 4 spoons of the fish vitamin. 3 to 4 spoons of the.
How many grams?
You said?
1 spoon.
Which is 0.5 gram. I think tablespoon is 10 ml. So 0.5 ml is the teaspoon. 0.5 ml is the teaspoon. Tablespoon is 10 ml. I'm not using tablespoon, we are using teaspoon. So you take 3 to 4 of each of those drugs. Make a paste of it. Add little water to dissolve it, to mix it, because they are in a powdered form. Talking about to, yes. Which of the area do you want me to come? Yes, that is the quantity of the drugs, which is 5 ml, not 10 ml. 5 ml. I said I don't want to confuse you. That is why I said teaspoon. 1 teaspoon. So the quantity of that 1 teaspoon is 5 ml. Yes, it's 5 ml. I said you collect 3 to 4 of each of them. Put them in your bowl and make a paste of it. Add little water to make a paste of it. After you have made paste from it, then add 1 liter of water to that paste to become a solution.
1 liter of water.
Yes. And mix very well to become a solution. Did you get me?
Yes, sir.
Already our fries, the water is already reduced to 10%, is it not true? So we take these drugs now and add it to the tank containing the fries. After adding it, we'll leave the drugs and the fries in that tank for 3 to 4 hours, like that, without adding water.
Are you pouring it down?
Yes, we are pouring it inside the pond, inside the tank containing the fries. Then after pouring it, we'll leave it for 3 to 4 hours. Are you there? Can I proceed?
Yes, sir.
After which, we now add 90% of fresh water, making the level of water or the volume of water 100%. Did you get it?
2 feet.
Yes.
After 3 hours.
3 to 4 hours. So you can decide to choose 3 hours. You can decide to choose 4 hours, depending on you.
Okay.
So you now add 90% of fresh water, making it a total of 100%, which means we are coming back to our normal 2 feet. So when that is done, we can now introduce our feed to them. Now the first feed we have to start using for these fries is 0.3 to 0.5 mm, the size of the feed. That is what I'm talking about. The size of the feed that we will start introducing to them is 0.3 to 0.5 mm. Open bracket, right? Skretting feed, SKROETTING, skretting feed.
That's the name of the
That is the name of the company that is producing that feed. That does not mean that there are no other companies that also produce that kind of feed. Let me just add another one. We also have the Coppens feed. Coppens, COPPENS. 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 So we also have the Coppens company, and we also have the skretting company producing these sizes of feed.
If these are the company names, then what is the name of the first feed that's given to them?
Okay, you can also say fry feed or starter. Yes, feed for fry. If you go to the store, to the company, say feed for fry, they will not give you that size of feed.
Starter feed or fried
Yeah.
starter feed.
Yes. Then let me just also add another one. There is another one you can also use to start feeding them. So that one is not too common. It's called the Artemia. Artemia, A-R-O-T-E. Artemia.
MIA.
Yes, M-I-A. A-R-O-T-E. M-I-A. Artemia. Artemia share free. Artemia share. Normal share. S-H-E-L-L. Free. F-R-O-E-E. So you can either use this Artemia share free to start feeding your fries, or you can use the Coppens starter feed, or you can use the skretting starter feed. If you are lost, you can also call me back. Can we proceed?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, before we proceed, let's now look at the human drug. We're also using the same dimension, 1.5 meter by 1.5 by 3 feet.
By 1.5 grams.
1.5 meter. I'm talking about the dimension of the tank. Okay, so for the human drugs, I make mention of tetracycline. So if we are treating a tank of that size that I've made mention to you now, I'm going to use 100 capsule of the tetracycline, 100 tablets of the vitamin C, 100 tablets of the B complex, 100 tablets of the B complex, 100 tablets of the vitamin C, and 100 capsule of the tetracycline. Then 50 to 60 ml of the M-Vite. That means you can use 50 ml, you can also use 60 ml. Okay, so we dissolve them into a bowl and make a paste, just like the first one. make a paste, you add 1 liter of water to it to make a solution. Then you pour it into the tank containing the fries, just like the first one.
So do we use everything together here?
I make mention of the 4 drugs. We are bringing them together. You are not using the human drugs and the fish drug at the same time. You can either use this or that. Do you understand? Okay, so that is that. Yes.
If you said you give them for prevention, what are we preventing? What kind of sickness are we
Okay. Yes. You know, we have a lot of fish diseases. We have the bacterial disease, we have the fungi disease, we have the parasitic disease, and the viral disease. So that is what we are preventing them from. So let's look at the reason for this drug. That is the one we've just mentioned, and one of them. The reason for this vaccine is to prevent them against sudden attack from infection. Then 2, to boost their eating appetite. Or to make them voracious eaters, which will also encourage them to grow very well and faster. It encourages every one of them to be a voracious eater, because it is assumed that among the thousands, the 100,000s or the 20,000s, some will be weaker that might not really be having appetite to eat. Just like among your brothers and sisters, some can eat very well, while some doesn't really eat much. They just pick little. And we discovered that sometimes the food can also affect can also affect the size of the person if he's not eating well. Is it not true? And so we want all of them to grow very well. And so that is why we are also introducing them into this drug. Okay, so having said that, any question? No question. Okay, so having said that, we've raised our water back 100%. We'll get our teaspoon again and take that starter feed, that fry feed. Okay? I'm going to take a level teaspoon of that feed. I wanted to show you the feed. So just look at it and pass it around. So you take a level teaspoon of that feed and introduce it to them. Just feed around the pond. Just feed around the pond. That is not the name. That is the call for tetracycline. We just put that feed there.
Sir, this drug, this one, do we still leave it for 3 to 4 hours?
Yes, the same thing. So we'll be feeding these fries 4 to 6 times a day. Maybe in the morning we feed 2 times, in the afternoon 2 times, in the evening and in the night. 4 to 6 times a day. You can also feed 3 times a day. If you cannot feed 4 to 6 times a day, you can also feed 3 times a day.
So will there not be any difference if you have to feed 3 times a day?
Is that?
Will there not be difference if you have to feed 3 times in a day?
Difference.
As compared to 4 to 6 times?
Of course.
And then, sir, is it just only 1 teaspoon that you spread on the corn?
Level teaspoon.
Just one of it.
Level teaspoon, yes. So, I haven't done that. You go to your outlet and open your outlet gradually. Just let bits of water be coming out. Okay? So what we'll be trying to do is that after feeding this morning, let's assume that before we come in the afternoon, 20% of that water has gone out of that tank. Before we come in the afternoon, let's assume that 20%, make sure that 20% has gone out of that water. And when you are back in the afternoon to feed, make sure that 20% that has gone out is replaced to become 100%. And give another level teaspoon of that feed also. Okay, then you feed and you go again. So before you come back in the evening, make sure another 20% has also gone out.
So, sir, when you feed, you also still let it. So why are you letting it go out?
Thank you very much. The reason is because the feed I'm using to feed, they are very high in polluting waters. Their rate of pollution is very high. And that feed you are introducing into the water, they might not eat everything. So the leftover might become trouble tomorrow to those fishes. So when you continue with the water will help to deactivate the harmful effect of that remains of feed. I don't know if you are getting me. The water will not be that too concentrated to start affecting them. Let's say, for instance, 99% ethanol and 10% ethanol, which is more conk, which one can cause problem. So when you are putting in that water, you are reducing the concentration of the substance or the chemicals that will lead to the detriment of the fry. Yes.
Sir, please, is there an apparatus used for calculating the percentage of water, or is it based on assumption?
Okay. There is no really apparatus. Okay? It's based on assumption.
Okay, sir.
Yes.
I don't really understand this. Since you said you feed them 4 to 6 times, and you said you can also feed them 3 times a day. You said if you want to feed per time is 11 spoons. And if you decide to feed them 3 times a day, will you still give them 11 spoons the 3 times?
Not 11, no. Level.
Okay, level.
Yeah.
Okay, level. But if you feed them 3 times and 6 times, are you going to increase it?
No, just like
3
that.
times?
Just like that. Level teaspoon at a time.
Okay.
Yes.
And it's not going to affect them in any way?
Now, if that your water is not run the way I'm explaining it to you now, this feed will affect them. Are you getting me? And so that is why you are, because if you also reduce your hand in feeding them, you also be starving them. Is it not true?
Yes,
And if you are not feeding them to satiation, to capacity, Then if you want to feed them to capacity again, then you must take care of the water.
Okay, sir. The outlet of water and inlet of water to replace the water.
Yes.
Is it done every time you feed? It's done every time you feed. Then secondly, the leveled
level teaspoon of
feed that you said they should be fed with.
Yes.
Considering the number of fries that are inside the pond, will it be enough? Because you said the last time you said about 2,005 fries will be produced.
Yes, these fries, they will eat little at a time. When they are fed, they will relax. So it is assumed that that quantity is in 100 strands, 1,000 strands, very minute, small, very many. So they will only pick the one they can pick and leave the rest. And that's why you also discover that they will be left over. It then means they are filled and tired. That is why there is leftover. Okay?
Also, while you open the outlet, will the larvae not also flush out?
Yes. If you look at the outlet, there is a screen. There is a PVC pipe that is perforated. And on the PVC pipe, there is either a chiffon scarf or mosquito net that is wrapped around those perforated holes. So those chiffon or the mosquito net can only allow water to pass through, but it will prevent the flies to go through that hole.
But you earlier said if we use mosquito net, we can actually also make the larvae go out.
To stock inside that net.
Yes,
so I said you use chiffon, Abby?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I said you use chiffon for how many days?
For 3 days.
I said you use chiffon for 4 to 6 days. Then after that, you go into the small mosquito nets.
I want to know, you said if we want to minister, if we want to give them the drugs, we should remove 90% of water, and then the left will be. I don't really know. How would you know if actually remove the
90%? Yes. Okay. Okay. Let me use this as a case study. Now let's look at this cup. From this to this place is 2 feet. We assume 2 feet. Okay. Now ordinarily, if you want to use your eye gauge, they ask you to remove half from this volume of this water. You should be able, as in half now, use your eye to remove half. You should be able that if the water is here is half. Okay. And if the volume of the whole water is 100%, so half, it means we've removed 50%. Still not true? Yes, so it then means 90 is greater than 10. Is it not true?
Yes, sir.
So it then means the water should be close to the bottom of the pond. We assume that. Or your pond, your tank will be calibrated. Okay? Your tank will be calibrated, so that you can know actual amount of water you are removing at a time. Yes.
These drugs, sir, these red and yellow capsules, vitamin C, B complex, all these drugs, are we going to be giving them day by day or?
No. For that first time, you treat them that once.
Some question. This 20% of water, you say when we feed, we remove 20% of water.
Yes.
Then later we add 20% of water. Now the remaining water we do not remove, we add new one. Is it not harmful to them? As in, doesn't it cause any disease to them because we didn't remove the water totally?
Okay, you only remove 20%. Fine. It will not cause problem to them. I think we are still at the first day of feeding. Have we left that stage? No. Have we left that stage? No. And so your question will be answered soon, okay?
Okay, sir. The drugs, the human drugs you are going to use, are we going to use all, or are we going to use only one of them?
Yes, I make mention of 4 drugs.
Yes, sir.
You will combine these 4 drugs and use them.
Okay, sir.
You make mention of 100 tablets.
Of what?
The red and yellow capsule, 100 tablets. And vitamin C, 100. B complex, 100. That 100 I didn't.
What about the other ones?
50 to 60.
Yes.
Okay.
What I mean by 100, you count one seed until you get 100. 1, 2, 3, 4, until you get 100 of them. That's what I mean.
Combine together.
One, each of the drug. So we have 350
or 60.
Okay, sir. At the price of allowing the water to go out, like the 20% of water to go out, what happens to the debris? Those debris that the feed brings out, like that it deposits in the water. What happens to the debris?
They remain in the pond.
And does it not affect them?
And that is why you are reducing that water. But if you have not been reducing that water, you are just feeding, it will start affecting them.
Okay, but using the chiffon, will the debris go out from the chiffon?
No, they will stay. We are coming.
Okay.
We'll get there. Okay. So let's assume that is the day we started feeding. That is when you do all this, okay? So let's assume that we fed in the morning, in the afternoon, and in the evening when we're about to go and rest. Okay? So what you do, just the way you allow that water to be flowing out, as in before you come in the afternoon, let's say the space of 3-4 hours, let's say 20% has gone out. If we allow that water to stay, as in that flow rate to stay till morning, how many percent do you assume that would have gone out before you come in the morning? It will be more than. Is it not true?
Yes, sir.
Fine. So when you come back the next morning, let's assume that 70% has gone out and it's remaining 30%. We also remove 20%. We also remove 20% that money after that 70 has gone out over the night. When we come in the morning to prepare to feed them, we also reduce another 20%, taking it back to 10%. And after we have done that, we add
90%.
After that, before we do our normal feeding again. So that the process continues like that.
And the feed, does it float or goes down into the...
Like this one, they sink. They sink gradually. So you put them, some will be on top, some will be sinking down.
Sorry, with the illustration just doing at the beginning that the night has master feeding leave the outlet open.
Small.
Yes,
you must target professionally so that before you come in the morning. Because if it's completely drained, what happens? So if possible, even though if you cannot calculate very well, at least let 50% go before you come in the next morning. Then in the morning you can do your remaining, how many percent? 40%. Depending on you.
Okay, sir.
Yes.
At what stage will any disease attack?
Disease can attack them from that level, even from the egg stage.
Okay, done.
Yes.
Then, sir, please, I would like to know maybe 1 or 2 names of these diseases.
Yes, we'll get there.
Okay, sir.
And I also mentioned 4 of them to you.
Yes. The classes.
We'll get there. Okay, so where are we?
the question I remember now I want to ask, like the previous time we did, before you make use of the phone, do you have any treatment for the phone? I used to treat the phone, just I think I want to start my own and leave my phone. Do I have to treat the phone before?
Yes, we will. Okay, let me just answer you. If not, we'll also come to that. And let me answer you. Two things are involved. Assuming the pond is newly prepared. The pond is newly prepared for this purpose. You have to treat the pond. For instance, let's use the concrete tank as a case study. The concrete tank, the tarpaulin tank, you've heard about tarpaulin tank? The glass fiber tank and the plastic tank, all those GP tank. You've seen them. People use them to capture fish. So all this tank, after you have secured them, you want to use them for fish farming, you have to treat them. And how can you treat them? Let's use one treatment applied to 4 of them. So let's use the concrete tank. We are done with our cement work and everything. We are going to pump water into the pond, to the brim. What I mean to the brim. Okay? We pump water into the pond. We can use either organic manure or inorganic manure. Organic manure, they are waste from plant and animal. Those droppings from those broilers, they are organic manure. You can also make use of them. You can also...
feed the fish.
Who asked the question just now? Okay, it's you. We're talking about to treat the pond, okay? Treat the pond. When the pond is newly constructed. So, is it that we get that poultry droppings or pig dung? All these ones are organic manure, is it not true? So we get them and let's say we sack 5 kg or 10 kg, we weigh them and put them into a porous bag, which is sack bag that have holes. You put them, let's assume that this is the size we want to treat. So you put the droppings 10 kg into the bag. We already have water inside. So you take them with the bag and drop them inside. Let's say 3. Okay. Then you can also add grasses, either dry or wet. Add them and allow them to stay in that tank for 2 weeks, which is 14 days. At the end of that 14 days, when you go close to that tank, 1, you observe that the water has turned either greenish or brownish or blackish. 2, you also observe a lot of larvas, especially the mosquito larva. When you observe this, know that the tank has been cured, treated. So after that, remove those droppings that you sack in a bag. Remove them. Open your outlet, drain all the treatment out, remove all the grasses. The tank will be dirty, is it not true? Yes. Get a disinfectant, what I mean. One of them, salt, common salt, you can use common salt. Dissolve 1 kg of common salt into 50 liters of water. And use that solution to wash the pond. With your sack or sponge, anything, dip and wash. When you wash the tank very clean, flush with fresh water. When the pond is clean, lock your outlet and put in water. This time around, you are not putting water to the brim. Let's assume that is the depth of the pond. You want to put water into your pond, let's assume this is 1 meter. If you want to put water into your pond, you put it up to 0.8 meter. Leaving 0.2 meters freeboard. If you look at that pond, is there water to the brim? No. That is 0.8 meter. So the remaining part is the 0.2. Why? Why is it like that? Why don't we fill our water to the brim? So that the fishes does not jump out. So that they don't start swimming on the ground. And if they swim on the ground, you know what happened to them. Okay, so you put water into the pond that has been treated, that has been cured. You allow that water to stay there 3 to 4 days or 2 to 3 days. Then that pond, you can stock whatever thing you want to stock inside. Then you can use that pond for your hatchery.
3 to 4 days.
Or 2 to 3 days.
But, sir, I don't really understand this treatment part of it, because after treating the pond, you still wash the pond with salt again. It's just like you're removing the old treatment from the pond, then
okay.
in water.
Okay, fine.
So please, before you answer the question, did I hear something like disinfect?
Yes.
With salt.
Okay, with salt.
Okay. Now you discover that the composition of this tank is cement, concrete, and sand. And the cement has some elements of chemicals that are detrimental to human health, true of us. So those are what we are treating. We are reducing that effect. Because whatsoever enter the fish body, when you eat it, it will also enter into your body. Especially those that cannot be destroyed with 100 degrees centigrade, as in boiling them. You cook before you eat. Some of those chemicals cannot be destroyed. Okay, so when you, like lead, when you eat fish that contain lead, there is no amount of it that can destroy lead. So when you eat fish that contain lead, it is assumed that the lead will be in your system, and lead can cause a lot of diseases to human. And so that is what we are kicking against. Okay, that is why we treat our pond. Yes.
So how many days the water normally is inside the tank?
Which of the tank?
Like this one now, or that one that you use as an example for us. How many days can you leave the water before we flush it out and replace it with another one?
When you have fishes there?
Yes.
Okay. Now, depending on the size of the compartment and the amount of fishes that are inside. For instance, if I have 1,000 fish there, I can decide to change once a week. Talking about the size. There are also some persons that half of this size, half of it, they will also stock 1,000 inside. So that you can even change 2 to 3 times a week. I don't know if you are getting what I'm trying to say. Then let's say if I have 500 fishes there, I might not even change once a week. And because the water is not that congested. Okay? But if I have 200 fishes here, I will change every day because the compartment is small. But if I have 2 fishes here, I will not change every day.
So
because
200 fishes enter this?
Yes, as in fingerlings, not to table size. The best, yes, it varies with the size. This one can only take 20 to 50 fishes to table size.
Okay. Then, sir,
yes.
will you still apply the same treatment if you want to use like this normal mud pond for your fish? Like not concrete pond, like this, is it natural or pond?
Okay, let me be answering your questions. It's okay. Yes, we have another way of treating that.
Okay.
Yes, of treating that. We have another way. Maybe we'll come to that. I'll come to that.
The process of treating the pond.
Yes.
Is it the same thing compared to the one for the pond for the fries?
Yes.
The same treatment.
It's the same treatment, the same pattern.
So do we have specific kind of water you can use? Because some areas might have natural water from borehole. Some areas don't have that. They have maybe a central water that is dispersed to various houses. Like you recharge for
Yes.
prepaid meters, you also recharge for that. So in my area, they would say the waterboard water, that's how it's called, is not too good because of the
Chemical.
content of chemicals that are used to
Treat the water.
So what do you do when that is involved?
Okay. One, if they will allow you to use water from there, they will allow you to use water from there. What you do normally, you don't use that water directly. You can pump it out so that the chlorine can evaporate out of it. or whatsoever thing they use in treating that water before you can use it for your fishes.
Sir, I don't understand.
Pump it out into your pond and leave it. Don't put any fish. Assuming you want to stock fish.
Yes, sir.
When you pump initially, the first time, when you pump it out, you don't need to introduce the fish instantly. And you also remember, I told you that after treating the pond, put in water and leave the water for 2 to 3 days. Did I say so?
Yes, sir.
So by so doing, some of the chemical that might be detrimental or harmful to the fishes might have been evaporated.
So subsequently,
yes.
Do you, because the fishes are already inside, or the...
Yes, I know that is what you want to ask. Yes, I know what you want to ask. So what we do, you understand that the fishes, they are already there in the system. And when we want to change, you don't change completely. You don't change you 100%. Are you getting it?
Yes.
You can either leave 90%, 10% or 15% before you start pumping in fresh water to the system. Now, the water that is remaining is a different system compared to the one you want to add. Now, it is tagged that the one you are leaving is alkalinic. That water, if you test it, is alkalinic. While the one coming down is acidic. And we are told, according to chemistry, that acid plus base, you get salt and what? Salt and what? Water, which is neutral.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's good.
Sir, is it possible or is it okay for the bag of organic manure to be put inside a pond that already has fishes?
Yes, depending on the water also. Let's say like that, your borehole water, that treated water. We can also use that to condition the water to reduce some of the effect of the chemical.
Okay.
But not too much.
Then
yes.
You said the treatment, mentioned organic and inorganic. And you've explained the
organic.
Then what about the inorganic?
Yes, the inorganic is your normal synthetic fertilizer. Your NPK 15-15 or 15-10-15 or 10-10-10. You can also make use of them to fertilize your pond.
The same process.
But yes, but at this time, little quantity compared to that one. Because this one is more concentrated. So if you are used 10 to 15, you can be using 5 or less than.
Okay, so the last time we came here, I found out that most of the ponds are greenish in color, the water. They are greenish in color. Are there fishes inside?
Yes, there are fishes inside.
I don't know. Is the water not harmful to the fishes?
No, the water is not harmful. The water is not harmful because the reason why you see the water greenish, it shows that there are presence of, you might have heard the name algae.
Yeah.
Yes, it shows that the algae is present. And any water that is not containing algae is tagged lifeless. That water is not good. That will bring me back again to tell you, I also told you that for you to use any water, pump them out 2 to 3 days. Is it not true?
Yes, sir.
By doing that, algae will also come and settle in it. Because the algae, they are everywhere, they are pores. So if that water is fertile, they will come and stay.
So how many days will the algae stay before you flush it out?
Before you do what?
You flush the water.
No, you are not flushing out again.
This one's not, you will not flush.
This one already, you have fish inside.
You won't be changing it.
I told you condition to change. I said if you stock 1,000 into this pond, we can change once a week. Then let's assume that you are stocking 500 inside the same capacity of pond. We might not even change once a week. I said something like that. You understand? If you don't understand, let me come back. Okay.
Sir, please, I heard something like, or I know of something like phytoplanktons and spirogyra. Can you please explain the relationship?
Okay.
Fish pond.
When we say phytoplankton, is part of what we refer to as plankton. Plankton, plankton. The plankton is divided into 2. The phytoplankton and the zooplankton. The phytoplankton, they are in form of grasses, as in plants. They are the ones who carry out photosynthesis in the water and release oxygen into the system. While the zooplankton, they are like animals. they also make use of the oxygen. They don't carry out photosynthesis. So they make use of the oxygen the plant is releasing. They also feed on the plant, while the fish in turn feed on the plant and feed on the zoo. Okay, now listen. That word you heard, algae, that is the common name. The scientific name is the plankton, which is divided into two. Under the plankton, we have the phyto and the zoo. I said the phyto, they are in form of plants. They are the ones producing their own food with the help of sunlight, water, from the fish and from the zooplankton. While in turn, they release oxygen for the zooplankton to consume and for your fishes to also consume. While the fish in turns eat the zooplankton and also eat what? The phytoplankton.
The phytoplankton, is it like green plant?
Yes.
Is it photosynthesis? Something like
No. They are microscopic.
Okay.
Yes. You only see them, you only tell their nature with the colors of water. Have you ever wondered, sometimes you see some streams that are red or borrow stagnant water, they are reddish in color or brown. Those are red algae.
So what does those things do to the fishes?
They are natural fish feed. They are feed also for the fishes. Yes.
And they produce oxygen, or they send out oxygen?
They produce oxygen. Like this, your plant now is producing oxygen for you. That is why you are very comfortable here.
Okay, sir. Let's assume that someone has a pond, a concrete pond.
Yes,
concrete
I'm hearing
pond that is of this length and breadth, like something from there to this side, and the breadth is like this to that side.
This length.
Just yes, till the like when these two ponds are joined together with the breadth and the length, the same thing. Yeah. How many fishes do you think someone can culture in it?
Okay, let's assume that this one is 1.5. Let's say 2.5 meter, which is approximately 8 to 9 feet. This one is 5 meter, which is 15 feet. Okay, you can stock, let's say 600 at least. Maximum should not be more than
what stage?
600 fingerling to table size. Because one, if they are too much, they will not do well. And the space also matters a lot.
Okay, sir.
If you put 1,000 fish in a pond, and at the end of 6 months or 1 year, you want to harvest them, how many like will you get?
Yes, it is assumed that 20% is gone. But it's not always that. But we assume 20%. But if managed very well, you might not even lose up to 10%. You only lose more when the fishes you stock, they are not almost the same sizes. You will lose more when the fishes you stock, they are not almost the same sizes. You know, we have the fingerling, we have the post, and we have the juvenile. Now, if you stock these 3 fish together, the juvenile will help in devouring, especially the fingerling. And if care is not taken, it can also devour the post fingerling. And so if you want to break through, it's either you stock fingerlings because they are almost the same size, or you stock post fingerlings, they are almost the same size, or you stock juvenile, they are almost the same size. But starter like you either stock post fingerling or juvenile. Don't even look at fingerling.
So which is away from spawning? What's their size like?
No, how can you stay away from spawning? You don't need to stay away from spawning. Okay?
So what's the size of the post fingerling?
Is that?
What's the size like of the post?
Yes, we will go around and see the size.
Okay, sir. Let me say, I have a pond like I told you,
yes.
and I want to like carry out the process of artificial spawning. Are you advising that I should use the whole pond, or I should demarcate to use a particular part of the pond?
Yes. Your hatchery pond stroke nursery pond is different from grow out. Okay. Yes. If you look at the way these ones are constructed, they are not as big as this one. So these ones are made for hatchery, while those ones are made for grown out. So anyone you want to use for grown out is big. It's always big. While the one you want to use for hatchery is always small. Yes. Any question?
Sir, please, when will these fingerlings be ready to be sold out to people that want to buy?
Okay. These fries, you see, they will be ready 4 to 6 weeks time. Okay. They will become fingerling.
They will be like this size.
4 6 weeks. You will have that. You will have this size. Okay. You will have this size, and you will also have this size. You will have all of them together. So that is why you do your sorting. So you do your first sorting, let's say 4th week or 5th week. Because if you don't do your sorting, like what I just explained, the bigger ones will end up eating the smaller ones. Any question? If there is no question, till I see you next time. Shalom.